Hello there, fam. I'm Wizzy, and if you're new to my corner of the internet, a warm welcome to Isabella Banks YouTube channel. Oh my days, guys. Guess what I just dug into? I have just had the opportunity to read my backlog of the Byline Times articles which have been published since Prince Harry's phone hacking court case win last week. If you haven't read them yet, no worries. I have got you covered. If I wasn't reading the entire story of what we're about to discuss in the newspaper, I would put this story down to being a conspiracy fantasy type story. Even then, it reads like a Lee Child's novel with Prince Harry cast as the enigmatic Jack Reacher. Okay, guys, let's go. Taking a deep dive into their last 5 articles unveils some jaw-dropping information that the British media has been trying to keep under wraps. If you thought we heard anything during the Dan Wootton saga, this blows that story completely out of the same planet. There is a reason why the Guardian newspaper was the only paper that published the news of Prince Harry's court case win. The Byline Times articles paint a horrifying picture, making me think we've all been looking in the wrong direction. The media has been playing puppet master, pulling our strings, distracting us and getting us to spend our energy on irrelevant issues with skillful misdirection. When I say all of us, I mean all of us, from the government to the public to other media outlets, businesses, and especially politicians. We have all been under the media's spell. We might have chatted casually about the real issues that the media has been trying to hide, but because it's so fantastic, we have left it in the realm of just gossip. But Prince Harry's courtroom victory is a game changer. It has opened the floodgates for those who have been too scared to spill the beans on what's really been going on. Even the Sussex squad is no exception. We are being as equally manipulated as the rest of the public. Hear me out. Please don't get pissed. When you hear what this story is really about, you will know that what I have just said is true. The media keeps us occupied with petty squabbles that have zero relevance to the big picture. And the media, or the media's actors, like Dan Wootton, Piers Morgan, Angela Levin, and the Hateful Eight, they have all been great actors in the script of misdirection. Yep, I'm saying it. All of this behavior they have been exhibiting, showing hate to Harry and Meghan, tactics. It's all been misdirection tactics. We've been engrossed in the mistreatment of Harry by the royal family, the racist treatment of Meghan, the relentless negative coverage since they stepped down, the negative reporting on their businesses, and the racial scrutiny of their kids. But guess what, guys? It's all smoke and mirrors. The irony here is that they created such a dire situation for Prince Harry that Prince Harry, being the human being that he is, had no choice but to fight back. And everything they've been working for, all this effort they've put into misdirection, is about to fall all the way down. It's about to crash. Guys, they completely underestimated Harry, thinking his royal status would render him incapable of starting a fight. Well, they were partially right. Remember how Prince Harry said he didn't realize he could instruct his own lawyers until he spoke to Elton John? What he didn't factor into Harry's situation was the fact that he wasn't living the cushy life they assumed that he had been living, rendering him useless to ordinary ways of living. They have known that his situation was not exactly ideal, but they didn't realize the extent of how bad his situation was. Because the reality of the situation is that despite not being treated well, Harry was extremely sheltered by the protection necessary to keep him safe as a royal, to the extent that surviving outside of the royal family should have been an impossible task. As we have said many a time, the media and the royal family expected him to fold like other members of the royal family who had tried to leave the royal family business. And then Meghan came and showed Harry that it was possible. And that's the reason for the hate. We know this, but we don't know how bad it really is. Before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. When you subscribe to this channel, you give this content a chance of reaching a wider audience. Also, click the like button and the notification bell. These seemingly simple tasks are more helpful than you know and really help my channel out. Thank you to the people who responded to my call to subscribe to the Invictus Games 2025 YouTube channel. I saw a bit of movement on their channel after my call. May I crave your indulgence to go over to that channel to subscribe to the channel so that by the time 2025 comes around, we would be a significant part of the way to achieving 100k subscribers on that channel so that more people will be able to enjoy the games. Thank you so much. The link will be in the description box and I'll be sharing one of their videos on the community page to make their channel easy to find. Let's bear in mind that the smear campaign has been designed to destroy Harry and Meghan's reputation so that their businesses and their charities are ruined. And the only thing that has been stopping that is the push by the Sussex Squad online. Let's push back by subscribing to the Invictus Games channel 2025 as that is their next target. This is our way of letting Harry and Meghan know that we are with them and also letting the establishment know that they are not going to succeed in destroying Harry and Meghan's lives the way they did Princess Diana's. That is what is at stake. It is that bad. Just thinking about the psychology of how we got here. Prince Harry's life within the royal family was torturous. And this torture was exacerbated by the media's relentless negative news stream and the tragic circumstances surrounding Princess Diana's death. To understand it is to know that these set of circumstances pushed Harry to a breaking point where change became imperative. Otherwise, self-destruction or worse was imminent. As Harry said in his book Spare, he preferred being at war anywhere else in the world, be it Afghanistan or some remote spot in South Africa, than being at home in the UK. What would make someone feel more at home at a war zone than being at home with his family or being in the country of his birth? Let's continue, guys, because what I'm about to describe to you is so much worse than what we thought. And that's probably why Prince Harry mentioned that if we knew what he knows, our perspective on everything would change. And just going through everything, analyzing everything, and putting this video together, my view just changed this evening. If we thought we knew what was happening before, I'm telling you that what we have known before now was the tip of the iceberg. There's so much to discuss. Where do I even begin? Byline Times just dropped a bombshell update on Prince Harry's epic court win. Brace yourselves, because I had to read the article like 4 or 5 times to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. So get this. Back in 2009, when Piers Morgan was called out about phone hacking, he straight up admitted to all the shady stuff he used to do. He didn't even pretend, saying, "I'm quite happy to sit here defending all these things I used to get up to." There is even this vintage video of Piers Morgan coaching Charlotte Church on how to hack a phone back in the 90s. Now, I'd like to show you the clip, but guess what? YouTube's got a thing against Sussex-friendly channels like mine and tends to demonetize us faster than you can say derangers. So no video clips on my channel for now. I'll stick to this format until proven wrong. When Rupert Murdoch's journalists were caught up in the scandal of hacking schoolgirl Millie Dowler's phone, Piers suddenly changed his tune. He went from admitting everything to wrongly denying any involvement in phone hacking. Since then, the question of Piers Morgan and phone hacking has been a wild ride for over 28 years. The question is, given how vehemently he keeps denying any involvement with phone hacking, why does he keep getting dragged into every phone hacking mess? Well, let's dive into the backstory, and trust me, it's about to be a movie. So the backstory of all of this is, back in 98, one savvy journalist at the Mirror in Ireland, Carl Brophy, figured out how to access messages on the phones of senior Irish politicians. He spilled the beans in an exclusive article on April 18, 1998, detailing how phones could be hacked. As big as this story was, this bombshell of a security breach didn't make it into the Daily Mirror in England. The question was, why? If English phones were as vulnerable as their Irish cousins, it would be a massive security risk. The Irish Mirror, thinking they had just done a public service, hoped to get the gap fixed before the bad guys caught on. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. The Irish Mirror's head honcho was Craig Mackenzie, Kelvin Mackenzie's brother, and Kelvin was Mirror's group deputy chief executive. Kelvin was editor of The Sun when Piers Morgan started on in the newspaper in the late 80s. Are you with me so far? Fast forward 15 months. A sales manager told the Daily Mirror in a phone call about Vodafone's security flaw, which allowed anyone to dial in and listen to their messages if they did not change their PIN. The sales manager claimed that the Daily Mirror's representative he had spoken to was initially enthusiastic during the phone call. When the sales representative went back to talk to management, the feedback they came back with was that they were no longer interested in the information the sales manager had brought to them. The sales manager later accused the paper of keeping the phone hacking methods for themselves because they never published this story to give the information to the public. That's just one layer. Diving deeper, let's unravel the web and figure out how Princess Diana and Piers Morgan play into this drama. And why do we say Piers Morgan is threatening the royal family? Enter Gary Jones, a senior reporter at the heart of this operation, with some shady dealings involving a corrupt private detective firm. Now, Jones was a big deal back in the day, winning the Press Gazette Reporter of the Year award in '95 for his explosive scoops. One of the most dramatic? Listen closer. A tale of anonymous calls from Princess Diana herself. Yep, you heard right. This was also one of the key stories in Piers Morgan's career. Let's reflect on the position that Piers Morgan holds today, shall we? And what eventually happens to Princess Diana. Okay, just hold that thought. When Piers Morgan says Harry is trying to bring down the monarchy, what he is actually saying is that if he says what he knows about this case, it would include information he holds about the royal family, which he would have to reveal on oath. In one masterstroke, he is speaking several languages to several people all at the same time. This could also be heard to mean, if I go down, you will go down with me. You being the royal family. No wonder King Charles hightailed it over to the court last week, the day before Prince Harry's judgment was delivered. By the way, what was the outcome of Princess Diana's inquest again? Should that be the question that we are actually asking? According to Spare, Prince Harry said he was discouraged from reopening the inquest. By whom and why? If I recall correctly, during the press run for the promotion of Spare, this was the only question Tom Bradbury asked of Prince Harry where he seemed slightly uncomfortable. Although he said he would not be reopening the case in that interview. But anything can happen, right? This world exclusive, a career highlight for Piers Morgan, was based on leaked investigation reports from Scotland Yard. In an article titled Who Done It, Press Gang claimed Piers Morgan likely greenlit a hefty payment to a retired police officer for access to the report, rumored to be in the hundreds of thousands of pounds. Wow. Just from this information, you can see that the battle is a lot more complex than we have been giving it credit for being. The reputation of the media is the least of their worries at the moment. It's quite clear to see that Prince Harry is fighting against the whole establishment. That is the media, the royal family, the police, the courts, the government, because they are all connected and they are all involved in the phone hacking in one way or the other. And this is why he's not only highlighting his security arrangements, he is focusing attention on the fact that his security was removed when he refused to drop his case. Guys, Harry was sacrificed. It goes without saying that the payment Piers Morgan made to the police for the report we have just discussed was illegal, and this points to police corruption. Was this the reason for the disgusting racist rhetoric discussing Meghan and Harry that was discovered some time ago? How many more of them I mean, the police were involved. And how far were they really willing to go? How much does the press pack really understand of what is going on? Not long after this exclusive, Piers Morgan became the Daily Mirror editor in 1995, and Gary Jones joined him the next year. It seems like that Princess Diana scoop earned Piers an express ticket to the top, and he hasn't slowed down since. In order for me to do this story justice, I'm going to need to serialize this story. This means I have to stop this video here. I will be watching to see how this video performs. If it performs well, I'll continue with the daily updates on this story until we have completed the 5-article expose. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click the like button and hit the notification bell so you know when next I upload my next video. Until next time, bye.